Hi everyone, it's Rachel Gedney from House of Feminine. It's another interview I'm doing, and this time I am delighted to welcome Kimberly Roberts, who is in Panama at the moment. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you so much, Rachel. I'm thrilled to be here with you.
Thank you, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to do this for me. Before we begin, this is the reason I'm doing these interviews and scheduling these sessions is because I've got a co-host and we're actually running a retreat in September in the UK, and it is for ladies who are thinking of traveling or relocating abroad, and how do they make their money whilst they're doing it. So that's what we're doing here. So over to you. Tell us a little bit about where you're from, your age, where you are now, and what brought this all on in the first place.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'm originally from the US. I'm a farm girl from Indiana, but I spent the past 9 years living in Canada. And I grew up on a inspiring, recipe of Cheerios and National Geographic. My parents raised me on every day, and they go through all the National Geographics of these are all the places you could go. These are all the things you should see and you could do, and all the people you'll meet. And so it just really inspired me from a young age to go off and travel. I went into university and I was studying international business, and that was taking too long. And then one day a recruiter called in like Army, like, we'll get you off to all these different places. So I'm like jumping on that because that'll get me out of Indiana faster. And lo and behold, the only place it sent me to is Canada. And so life came in like it does. And so I was married, I had a child, and it wasn't until in my 30s, and I was in my late 30s, and I got a divorce. And I'm like, okay, what's next? And I had taken a trip to Canada and fell in love with it there. It was every country I've ever wanted to visit right there. And I made the leap. And in less than a year, I was moved there, and which took me totally by surprise. But I didn't plan on staying there for 9 years, and because I'd always planned on doing this, traveling, traveling, traveling. And so last September, I finally broke free from my heart is in Canada, but I finally broke free to continue doing more what I do, and that is to live location independent. So I drove across Canada by myself in my sports car and spoke at a conference in Vancouver in um, October, and then went and saw my son in Seattle, gave him my car, best mom move ever, and spent time with him there in Seattle. Flew off to a retreat with one of my mentors for 5 days, and then I flew from there to Costa Rica. And I was there for 3 months, and I flew from there over to Panama. And I've been in Panama now for 5 months now, and I leave at the end of July to Europe.
So where are you going? You're going to Europe next. Yeah? You could tour around Europe.
Yeah, I'm taking a brief stint through the US because flights are going to be better if I take a hop and skip and a jump into the US. And so if I do that, I know I will have a death wish issued out on me if I don't go visit the parents in Indiana for a couple of weeks. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to fly off to Europe. And so I'm actually starting in your country, in the UK, and going to be there and Ireland. So I'm staying out of the Schengen, never can say that right, the staying out of those until November. And in November, I'm going up to Portugal and Spain.
Wow, you really are traveling around, aren't you? So are you going home back to Canada at some point?
Probably not for a while yet. I packed up everything, sold everything. I mean, I've
Wow.
got a storage unit. I gave part of my son. So my new life is, home is wherever there's great Wi-Fi or decent Wi-Fi.
Right, right. So you've done what a lot of people do. They've packed up completely. You haven't got a home to go back to, essentially. You've got just a storage facility. Yeah, right. Okay. Fantastic. So how are you earning? So I know you've got a business. So do you want to tell everyone how you're actually earning when you're on the road?
Sure. So I have a couple of different sources. My passion work that Rachel is talking about is Rebel Livin. And that's where I teach people as a lifestyle strategist how to live out their some days today. And so for me, my someday was someday I'm going to travel all over the world. And I'm like, screw that. Do it now. And so, like so many things that I do, I just like find a way to do it now. And so that's what I teach people in Rebel Living. It really is my passion work. For some people, travel is not their someday. For some people, I always wanted to own a restaurant, or I always wanted to have my own business, or I always wanted to learn how to paint. Whatever
Mm,
those things are, to find a way to do that even with life commitments. And it truly is like Christmas Day every day. So besides that, a couple other things that I do just to kind of feed the machine, if you will, is I really try and keep my passion of Rebel Living not being so much money forward, if you will, because it
mm,
really is a love of mine. And so a couple of things I do is I do website designs along the way. I'm a business consultant, and so I help people like small businesses launch and walk them through, because I've got 30 years of project management. So walk them through the stages they need to do to be able to launch their business. And so between those two things, those are really my biggest revenue sources. However, I'm also a huge fan of Tim Ferriss, the 4 Hour Work
mm.
Week, and
Yeah.
I'm in the process right now of creating my own little muse. And so we'll have my muse launched in August. So I'm super excited about that as well.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we're going to have to meet up when you're in the UK, and maybe we'll both get to Spain together for a visit as well, which would be cool. And I'm just building or creating a new website for House of Feminine, so maybe I'm stuck on themes, so I probably need to have a chat with you about that. Themes for the
Well, you
website.
are so
Yeah. So tell me then, what are the, I know you've had lots of highlights and I know you've had lots of challenges. So tell everyone what your main highlight and then your biggest challenge have been.
Oh, my highlights. There've been so many. I mean, it's first and foremost, there's the magic of each place. Like discovering where their magic is, the magic connections of the universe to yourself, um, the cliffs that we jump off of that we never thought we would do, of experiences. It's also the people that you meet, your
Mm,
fellow travelers, the stories, that the conversations. Like I've literally been in this dive pub in Boquete, which is a mountain village in Panama, and sitting around having conversations with reporters, authors, and just people from Kentucky, like all over the world. And we're having conversations about who our favorite authors are and
mm,
what we think about peace in the countries and stuff. I mean, really rich conversations that with amazing people. So those have been some of my biggest highlights. I mean, it's also I've been around the ocean, which is for this farmer's daughter from Indiana.
mm, mm.
I can't soak up for it. As far as challenges, when you live by the computer, you die by the computer. And so uh, it's the biggest challenges have been internet, and I had just most recently I got to this ocean area, a little town called Bocas del Toro. It's like imagine Bora Bora
Mm,
of Panamanian style. So all these little archipelago. I don't know.
mm, yeah.
All these little islands that you take water taxis to from point A to point B, and my computer died for like an entire month. It seems like. because you're on Panama time and it takes a little bit longer than it would back
Mm.
in the US, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that was probably my most frustrating time.
Yes, I've been there with you on that one in your group. So what have you learned about yourself in these times, in this traveling that you've been doing?
It's been an amazing journey. I mean, the gifts that the universe has divined upon me of inspiration and about connection. In Costa Rica, the lessons were about letting go, learning to let go, learning to let go of not only just people and because I left people behind in other countries and my
Mm,
relationships and things change, the dynamics of friends and things. Your friends are still going off to have coffee with each other at
mm,
the same place. It's not there, right? And those kind of connections and letting go of that and finding new ways to relate and be a
mm,
part of, but also learning to let go of just deeper diving into me and to learning to let go of my own self-talk in a different way, and discovering really the magic that I have to bring to bear, like the divine influence that I'm here to bring and to own that in my very fiber and my pulse. The biggest gift I've had for me out on the road is the pulse and the connection with the universe. It's been
mm,
so amazing, and even having my computer taken away for a month, I've been sending the universe lots of gratitude for doing that because it illuminated so many other things for me, and I wish they had chosen another way to do it.
mm.
But also the just wait to stop and to redirect. And so it's that, and it's it's also just knowing that you can do it and you're gonna
Y-
get through it, and you're living your dream,
Yeah.
and that's it's fun, it's exciting, it's scared sighted sometimes, it's
Hmm.
daunting other times, and there's a humility with it as well
Mm.
because there's that distinct that I am living my some days, and so then there comes that responsibility I have to my tribe, um, to share that journey with, and that it is possible, and the joys and the benefits that come out on the other side of that.
Mm, gosh, I mean, in so many ways, it sounds so idyllic. And I mean, you are such an inspiration to me because I know for me, the traveling isn't what's my bag. It doesn't work for me. I would find it too scary. I need to have a base, but I want to go out from the base. I mean, I'm relocating to Spain. That's a big step for me. But to do what you're doing, I mean, I just take my hat off to all of you who are doing this traveling, and I just couldn't do it. It's a step too far for me, but it is quite incredible. So that's way beyond my comfort zone. It's just not my thing. But anyway,
But there's a good moving and packing away and moving away to a different land altogether. So
yeah,
that's a huge lift for a
yeah.
lot of people too. So
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, I agree. So, would you recommend your lifestyle to other women who are thinking about doing it?
I would. There are things that yeah, I definitely would recommend. If that's your heart's passion,
Mm,
then by all means, definitely jump in, find a way to make it happen. Just get help into it. There's so many different. Thank goodness for technology. Even though we
mm,
live and die by technology, like I had happen to me, um, there's so many different avenues now to be a digital nomad, to be
mm.
location independent. Thank God for technology in that we're able to do this right now, you and I, Rachel.
Yeah.
That wouldn't there before, that it wouldn't allow me to do what I'm able to do. And so, if this is, like Rachel's point, your heart's desire, get hell bent on finding a way to make it happen. There's so many resources. I would encourage you to get on all the groups like Rachel's group and explore all the information that she's connecting you with. There's groups on Facebook about digital nomads and such, and align with others who are doing it.
Mm.
Um, you can help with a little hand holding as you go through it, because do your research and take your comfort zone. But each leap, each new place that you go to becomes a bit easier because you can lean into those experiences from before.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been doing. I'm hooking up with groups, Facebook groups that are in Spain, or and half of them are English and half of them are Spanish, and I'm already starting to make those connections, as well as doing the Skype calls or the Zoom calls with people who've relocated, British people who've relocated, and how it's all working for them, etc. So you've got to, and all the research behind it. I didn't just decide, oh, I'm going to move to Spain. There's an awful lot more that goes on behind the scenes that you don't know.
About a year and a half ago, we had our call, and
That's right. Yeah.
opening how you get there to Spain. So,
well, Kimberly, it's been in my business plan for about 15 years, but as you say, it's technology, it's being able to get things online.
exactly.
I couldn't think of how I could. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible now with technology. You can do so much. So what would you, sorry.
I wanted to give you credit for all the research and stuff that you've been doing.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. So what are your most valuable tips for women that are thinking, well, I suppose you've covered those, really, a lot of the research and things, haven't you?
A lot of the research, if you are like a digital nomad working from your computer, one of the things is have a backup. Have a backup. So I'm in the process right now of having another backup computer.
Right. Yeah.
I get one, and I'm switching from PC to Apple. That was a huge step. It's like switching alliances. Internet. So like today, like even for this call, even though the internet connection's been just okay, if it had been off, I had a backup plan of where I knew I might be able to go to have good internet. So
right. Yeah.
It's being prepared like a good Boy Scout or a Girl Scout, and or Girl Guide, and just knowing everything's gonna be okay. And I would say being open to connecting with people along the way. Don't be closed. One of the difficulties of us that keep traveling is you're always saying goodbye to people. And so that I have found, and I knew this before setting out, that a lot of them, just found it difficult to connect with people because they knew that they were going to have to leave again. And I to plan differently, because some of my greatest gifts have been because the people I've met on the road, as well as the locals. Like, honestly, I would not be able to do the things I'm doing right now here in Bocas if it weren't for some of the locals that I've met and who in different ways. And so I would encourage you to make that a priority. For me, when I was doing my research, I wanted to make sure I was always connecting with people and not shutting them down. And so I planned my stays to be longer in each location versus 2 weeks here and 2 weeks there. So I a minimum of 3 months somewhere.
Brilliant. Yeah, that is excellent advice. I mean, connections are so important. It's the only way, it really is the only way to do it. So we're coming towards the end of this. So where can people find you, Kimberly?
Sure. So they want to go to Livin, LIVIN.com, and you can find me there. You can also come over onto the Facebook group. We have the Revolution, and join Rachel and I there, and we're doing lots of fun things, and we'd love to have you in.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, that's a mixed grilling. Obviously, our retreat is just for females, but it's so important. I mean, we are just interviewing females, and it is so important for us to share our story, because it seems to be that this is a really hot topic right now, of how people can sort of give up the day job, or how do they do the traveling, or how become a digital nomad, or how do they relocate to another country, and they really, really want to. So it's a very hot topic now. So yes, I mean, that's it's been lovely chatting with you again, as always, and thank you for giving up some of your time for this. It's very, very good.
As always, I love our time.
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much.
when I come to UK, and if not, for sure when we're in Spain. So.
Oh, absolutely. We've just got to meet up. I mean, it's just as simple as that. We've got to, there's no no bones are made here. We've got to meet up. So thank you. Keep doing what you're doing and inspiring us, because you really are an inspiration. You're what's making me carry on, even though I'm not doing what you're doing. You're making me carry on doing it as I'm watching you and your progress. So great. Thank you for chatting with us, and we'll catch up soon. Bye. Take care. Thank you, Kimberly. Bye.